What's up, YouTube? Hope you're having a great day. Today we're going over the 5 easiest comps for beginners. Remember, this list is for players who've recently joined TFT. The purpose of this video is to give these beginners their training wheels. Like any advanced rider, although you can throw away the wheels whenever you feel ready, the lessons you learned while employing these tips will always be with you. Let's get started. The first carry we're looking at is Nidalee Astrals. Your first goal should be to hit 3 Astral ASAP. Once you do, the rest fits like a glove. Nidalee, Skarner, and any third Astral works as your base. Once you find Alawi, replace that third Astral with Alawi for Astral 3, Bruiser 2. Next, you want to get 50 gold and pick up any Astral copies along the way. You do not want to roll unless certain conditions are met. Either there's an Astral shop coming up and you have more than one Astral pair, you can roll for 1 pair if it's an Nidalee pair, or 2, you have surplus gold that's more than 50 and you're level 5. You want to continue to spend surplus gold rolling down until you're about 2 to 3 Nidalee away from 3-star. From here, it's okay to commit more gold to finding the unit, as it's a huge power spike. Do not roll down below 20 to 30 gold, however, as you'll need the gold later to catch up in levels. Once you hit, you want to go to level 7 ASAP, as this gives you the best chance to find an Alawi 3-star in the Astral shops. From here, this is what the endgame board should look like at level 7+. For items, Nidalee needs absolutely Ginsu's and QSS. Her third item is flexible, but the first 2 are definitely not. Worst case scenario, you absolutely need Ginsu's Rageblade at the very least to make this work. For her third item, you can go with Deathblade, Bloodthirster, Hand of Justice, Runen's Hurricane, Giant Slayer, or Last Whisper. If you have healing augments, then you can ignore Bloodthirster and Hand of Justice. For augments, you want to look out for Beast's Den, Preparation, Featherweights, Best Friends, Ascension, Trade Sector, Celestial Blessings, and Thrill of the Hunt. Again, if you have a healing item, you can ignore the healing augments, and vice versa. If you have healing augments, you can ignore the healing item. For a more detailed rundown on how this comp works, check out my most recent video. I'll place a link in the description, so if you're interested in that comp, go see how I played it. So for our second comp, we're looking at Varus Astrals. For Varus carry, there's a lot of similarities between this and Nidalee reroll. Again, here, any 3 Astrals works to get the ball rolling. Allow for Nidalee to be the item holder until you find Varus, or allow for another Swift Shot unit to hold items. The 3 main Astrals you'll want to keep are Varus, Alawi, and Skarner. Skarner gives you Bruiser 2, but you don't care if you get him to 3-star, so don't focus on it too much. Instead of spending surplus gold at level 5, you're going to want to get to level 7 ASAP so you can roll for Varus and Alawi. If you're losing a lot of rounds before that, try to spend some gold rolling at level 6 to stabilize your board and keep you healthy with some 2-stars. Once you're at level 7, this is where you'll spend most of your gold. Again, you want to slow roll your surplus gold until nearly hitting Varus or Alawi 3-star. Once you're close, it's okay to all in for them. This is what your endgame board should look like. For items on Varus, again, Ginsu's is a must. The other 2 can be more flexible, however, there is still a priority list and it goes as follows: Deathblade, Runen's Hurricane, Giant Slayer, Quicksilver Sash, Last Whisper, Infinity Edge, Bloodthirster, and Hand of Justice. Here you may notice the healing items are near the bottom. Since Varus is not in melee range, healing is not as much of a priority. Still, it's worth picking up, especially if you do not have QSS, as there will be times when Varus gets CC'd. Augments to look out for are Press the Attack, Celestial Blessing, Trade Sector, Best Friends, Swift Shot, and Weak Spot. Now for our third comp. This comp is Rage Wings. For this comp, there's 2 main carries, and here on this video we're focusing on Xayah. For this comp, since Xayah is a late game unit, you'll want to find solid item holders plus frontline ASAP. Personally, I like to use Varus since I can build around a Swift Shot unit, then simply replace the item holder with Xayah. For this comp, you actually don't want to go more than 3 Rage Wings, since once you hit Xayah 2-star, you're gonna want to econ back up, hit level 9 for Shyvana, then this will give you Rage Wing 6. And if you manage to find a lucky early Shyvana, even better. Instead, focus on getting frontline to protect the carries. For frontline units, you'll want to build bruisers like Shen, Ornn, Syphen, Alawi, or Silas. They're all solid options. And if you have Ezreal for Swift Shot buff, then Ornn gets further value since that will add Tempest too. If you're running Swift Shot 4, then you may lack space for Bruiser 4. Just play around with it to find a good balance. Your 3 Rage Wing at the endgame should be Hecarim, Shen, and Xayah. You can use Swain until you find Hecarim, and if you're running Swift Shot 4, then you may want to use Set instead for frontline value. Here's what the comp should look like at endgame. For items, you'll want Gintu's combined with Deathblade, Giant Slayer, Runin's Hurricane, Quicksilver Sash, Bloodthirster, Hand of Justice, Last Whisper, or Infinity Edge. For augments, you'll want Press the Attack, Scorch, Best Friends, a healing augment if you have no healing item like Celestial Blessing or Thrill of the Hunt, and Weak Spot. For our 4th comp, we're going for mages. For mages, it's really simple since we've already covered Astrals. This may sound familiar. The 3 earliest mages you can pick up are Heimerdinger, Vladimir, and Nami or Lilia at 2 costs. Since 2 out of 3 of those are Astrals, it makes sense to pick up a 3rd Astral until you find more mages. I recommend going for a Bruiser Astral since you'll want Sylas as a frontline at some point. The early carry will be Lilia until you find Ryze, who should be your main carry. His damage output is insane, but since he requires a ton of mana, his item choices are very specific. Mandatory is a Spear of Shojin. Then his next items can be either Archangel Staff, Gunblade, Deathcap, or Jeweled Gauntlet. Since fights last a while, Archangel Staff is the clear favorite. For your frontline, you'll want Sylas plus any bruiser combos like Ornn, Alawi, Shen, or Siphen as good options. With Siphen plus Sylas, you also get the benefit of Whispers 4. If your Ryze is not contested, then rolling down at level 7 is optimal. You should be slow rolling your gold as stated before until you have enough copies to commit to the all-in roll down. Following suit, to optimize your roll down, it's best to have Astral 3 active as to potentially 3-star Nami or Alawi, and possibly even get Sylas if you're extra lucky. But that's expensive, so you need a ton of gold or prioritize who matters most, which is Ryze, then Alawi, then Nami, and then Sylas. If Ryze is contested, you'll want to save the gold and go for 2-star instead and make your way to level 9. If the Astrals are contested, unless extremely close to 3-starring one of them, it's not worth the gold sink, so just move on. Once you're at level 9, you'll want to throw Zoe in ASAP. If you find her earlier than expected, even better. If you're unable to 3-star Ryze, give the carry items to Zoe while maintaining 5 mages. Some extra units that may help are Bard, Soraka, or even Yasuo. The goal is to have 5 mages and 4 bruisers, plus any extra chates you can afford to throw in, like 4 Whispers with Siphen. Here's what the board should look like near endgame. For augments, you'll want Mage Portal if you find it at 2-1, since that gives you free mages, or 3-2 only if the other options are very poor. Luden's Echo, Axiomark, Blue Battery, Meditation, or any Mage Hearts. So for our 5th and final comp, we're going with Jade. Jade comps are very unique because of the additional board statues you get on every tier. When you receive a statue, you want to maximize the value by having as many units as possible next to it. Jade also has exceptional frontline, tons of early units, and a variety of carries. In the early game, you'll want Karma to be your item holder and transition into a Nivea once you find her. For the early game, you'll want Taric plus Karma and Ashe, or Gnar and Karma. The goal is to have Karma hold your items, but if you can't find Karma and still have Jade 3, then Ezreal is a good choice since he scales with AP and provides Swift Shot 2 with Ashe. Once your early shell is formed, the next goal is to save gold and level slowly until you hit level 7. At level 7, you should have been able to find an Anivia by now, so make sure to give her the carry items. At level 7, you will be slow rolling to find a Anivia 3-star. You may also want to find an early Xiaoyu or Nico if you're lucky. If you do, then your board should consist of Anivia, Nico, and Gnar for Jade 3, plus Xiaoyu for Jade 6. This will last for the rest of the game. This only changes if you find Soraka. At any point, you can swap Gnar out for her. The last 2 spots on the board at level 7 would go to an Evoker unit for Evoker 2 with Anivia, and either a frontline support or damage unit, depending on what you feel you lack at the moment. Your tank items will go to Xiaoyu, and make sure to have Nico copy her so that she receives the tank stats as well. Keep slow rolling until you're ready to commit to the all-in for Anivia 3-star. Once you're close, go for it, but do not roll under 10 gold. You want to make sure you have some econ left to hit level 8 later. If you're desperate and are about to lose, of course you don't want to leave gold on the table. But if not, then sit tight and follow the plan. This is what your board should look like at endgame. For augments, you'll want Luden's Echo, Axiomark, Blue Battery, Essence Theft, Eternal Protection, or Evoker Hearts. And there you have it. Those are the 5 comps that are excellent for beginning players to dive right into TFT for Set 7. I hope this helps you climb to your rank that you're going for. If you feel like I've missed something, then go ahead and tell me in the comments. And if this video helped you, then smash that like button and subscribe, because you don't want to miss the tips and guides I have planned for the future. Take care and see you on the Rift.